Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Wednesday, July 8th, lots of high pressure, but there are two active frontal systems, one hanging from a low in Canada, just north of Montana, and there is a cool front hanging south from it across Idaho into northern California. Its warm front extends all the way south into central Nebraska, then swings north back up through the Michigan Upper Peninsula. A more active southern front hangs from a low in southwestern Kansas, across Oklahoma into northern Mississippi, up and across Memphis, up toward Cincinnati, up toward Pittsburgh, and then dropping back sharply all the way down to Raleigh. Lots of unsettled weather, especially ahead and along that front, from Louisiana clear on up through the Carolinas. And note there is that active frontal zone up here in the heartland from Nebraska across Iowa into Wisconsin. Looking at our vitality index, just trying to pick up those individual areas where there will be individual weather elements that can cause the difficulty, you can see we have something going on here in the northern plains. We have a lot of activity in the southern Mississippi Valley and across the south, and a little bit of activity going on up here across Iowa into Wisconsin. Looking at the changes in pressure, and in July the pressure changes are really not as significant. We have some falling pressure along the Montana border, and we have a little bit of falling pressure in the heartland from central Kansas across into Iowa. Looking at our temperature change data, we have been cooling down across much of the east, maintaining heat here in the south, and note we have a little bubble of heat up here in Montana. Looking at the change in dew point temperatures, and a little bit of interest here because we're seeing falling dew point temperatures here in California and Nevada. That, of course, doesn't bode well for the fire risk and fire dangers. Instability is a bit less than we've been seeing in the past few days, although we have a little bit back up here in Iowa and Wisconsin with that front. We have some instability here in the Ohio Valley, but not nearly as much as previous, and we are maintaining an active instability area along the Gulf, literally from South Texas across Louisiana and along the Gulf, and especially across Florida. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, we'll have some migraine stresses from Vancouver across Washington and Oregon, another area of migraine stress in eastern Wyoming down to northeastern Colorado, another area of migraine risk from really northern South Dakota across northern Iowa into northern Wisconsin and southern Minnesota. We have a slight area of migraine risk here from the toe of Louisiana across southern Mississippi into southern Alabama. Very interesting risk of migraine here across north central Florida, and a little bit of migraine risk lingering right across Delaware into the easternmost portions of Maryland. We have a significant asthma and arthritis risk north of that front in Montana, North Dakota, and up into northern Minnesota. Very interesting risk of asthma and arthritis across central Texas, Midland to Waco, and over across into Louisiana. We still do have that migraine or asthma and arthritis risk again across that north portion, North Dakota and northern Minnesota, but we do have an asthma and arthritis risk in the northeast, running from eastern Pennsylvania across New York and up and down New England. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.